Hey, this is Zaklog the Great. I recorded a video not long ago defending Stefan Molyneux regarding dealing with abusive parents. I stand by what I said there. However, I don't agree with Molyneux on everything. Given that he is an atheist and I am a Christian, we disagree on some very important things indeed. So today I'm going to talk about Molyneux's biggest failure. Unfortunately, I don't know what video he said this in. If you know where it is and can point me to it, I'd be quite grateful. In the meantime, I'm sorry, but you'll have to trust my memory. Molyneux was addressing a listener's question. The listener asked, "How can we find meaning in life?" Molyneux's answer was so completely inadequate that I was stunned, just standing there, mouth agape, blinking and trying to process what I'm hearing. He said, obviously paraphrasing, "Don't worry about meaning. Just be happy. When you're happy, do you worry about the meaning of life? When you're enjoying a fine steak dinner, are you worried about the meaning of life? When you're experiencing an orgasm, are you asking, what does it all mean?" His example, not mine. Molyneux is a philosopher, thinking through the big questions that affect our lives. So the gross inadequacy of his answer here was jaw-dropping. The first thing I noticed was that all of his examples of happiness, he gave 3 or 4, were physical pleasures. I'm not sure if he was aware of this or its implications, but don't worry about the meaning of life, just immerse yourself in physical pleasure is almost the direct opposite of philosophy. Instead of searching for truth, it is deliberately obscuring the truth from yourself. Now, I will say, in Molyneux's defense, there is a less discreditable way to read this. You could interpret this as live your life in a way to maximize future happiness. Taken seriously and looking to the long run, this would be a decent approximation of virtue. Be honest in your dealings so that people will trust you in the future. Control your appetites, for instance for food, sex, glory, lest they lead you to destruction. Store up in times of plenty so that you will be prepared in times of want. Raise your children with discipline and care so that they grow into adults whom you respect and who will respect you. At the same time, even if you do all of these things, hard times will come. You can live your life in the wisest, most virtuous manner possible and still experience suffering. Healthy living can make it less likely, but you could still be struck by a serious illness. Even just a run-in with a bad driver could leave you crippled and in pain the rest of your life. You can save up and buy insurance, but if a flood or earthquake destroys your home, that's still an unbelievable amount of stress, and many of your things are irreplaceable. And if, for instance, you live in a country where the government goes insane and starts persecuting its own people, this is all purely hypothetical, It often seems as if the most decent, virtuous people are whom they come for first. This is not to say that living virtuously and prudently is useless. It can spare you a great deal of unnecessary pain. But it is not a guarantee. There are no guarantees in life. Only better or worse odds. Everyone is going to experience some kind of genuine suffering. It is, in some ways, the only sure thing in life. And yes, we don't need meaning when times are good, when we are safe and contented. But in those times of suffering, of pain, of deprivation, of sorrow and confusion, those are the times we human beings need to have a why. A man who is suffering but has a reason, has a purpose, can endure far more than a man who is suffering pointlessly. And no matter how you live your life, suffering is going to come. Molyneux could attest to this himself. Having had cancer, he needed surgery to remove. As far as I know, he did not engage in any particularly risky behaviors that caused that cancer. It was basically just bad luck. We humans need meaning. We need to have a larger story we're a part of to make sense of our place in the world. Why are we here? Why do we suffer? Why do we desire things that are denied to us? Why do we sometimes have desires that have no resolution in this world? I am a Christian. I have answers. Are they always satisfying? In the midst of the pain, sometimes not. But they're quite a bit better than no meaning at all. There's quite a bit I disagree with Friedrich Nietzsche about. But I think he was entirely right about this. He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how. Conversely, he who has no why can bear almost nothing. We need a why. We need that larger story. And what that larger story is makes an enormous difference. Those stories can motivate us to acts of brilliance and nobility. They can also motivate us to acts of demonic cruelty. I am a Christian. Over 2,000 years of our history, we haven't been perfect. But I think our story, our why, has created some amazing things in this world. God be with you.